What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Talks with Kat, where we have in-depth conversations with your favorite business owners, entrepreneurs, creators, and much more. We have conversations about their creative journey. Welcoming today, stylist, creative consultant, influencer, but not limited to one of the most stylish and fashionable people of our current times. Welcome, Brooklyn's Revival.
Thank you. I appreciate you. That was well said, too. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much for coming on. We're so excited to have this conversation with you and just kind of get in depth about your creative journey and how you started and where you are right now, which I'm sure a lot of people might not know and might not have the opportunity to have conversations with you about it.
Yeah.
So let's start. How did you find your style, especially being raised here in New York? You get influenced by so many different people, things, your environment, culture.
Yeah.
How do you feel like you have developed your style and where it is today?
I feel like I developed my style. Like you said, you get a lot of influence from the culture, rap culture, of course. Just a whole bunch of different, type of things, seeing your father grow up wearing certain styles and things like that. Your older brothers. So, most of my style just come from, like you said, like a New York culture, you feel me? Like where I was raised and what I was what I seen, what I was around.
And who do you feel like has some of the most influence in your current style to this day? It could be famous, family. Like, who do you feel like you look back and you're like, they definitely had an impact on my style?
That's a good question. I would say probably, of course, the diplomats. They was very influential in their time. There was, Jim Jones, Cam, Joel. They was always on some fly shit. They was influential. Right now, let me think who else. I gotta shout out Bloody O. Bloody O's like those the guys. They style like his style is very influential as well.
Yeah.
So it's all New York
Yeah.
based. You feel me? New York based. Famous Rocky.
Yeah.
Rocky I feel like one of the style pioneers. Yachty, I feel like Yachty does his thing. He fly too.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically it's just a mix of like all people. I mean, I wouldn't say
Yeah.
I got my little mix into it, but people definitely, you give your flowers to who's doing the
Yeah.
things like that.
And how would you describe your style? Like, do you feel like you're more of a street style, or do you feel like you're a little bit contemporary, like a little bit of everything? Like, how do you feel like you describe your style?
I wouldn't say I'm just street style. I feel like it's contemporary and versatile too. I can give off a couple looks. I might I might like a little look before. I mean, way better than other looks, but I just feel like I can be versatile with my style and do mainly, anything. Like if I got to go clean cut, or if I got to do grunge, or I got to do streetwear, or just depend if I got to go couture, elegant, like things like that. I feel like I have a good enough
Very versatile.
a good enough fashion sense to break into that.
I feel like that also ties into your styling, especially because you need to know like what you're dressing people for.
Exactly, yes.
So aside from your personal style, how do you feel like you're able to tie that into your styling? Because I've seen a lot of like stylists nowadays or people who identify as stylists, and sometimes I feel like they don't really dress their clients to the occasion or so like understand like what looks good on their clients. Some people dress people the way that they dress.
Exactly.
So aside from your personal style, how do you feel like you identify people's like individual styles and dress them for the events? Like how does that look like for you?
So that's my thing. That's one thing I don't like about stylists. I feel like you should never let your client look like you or wear what you wear, because sometimes it doesn't look authentic, you feel
Correct.
me? So my thing is, when I have a conversation with a client, I try to figure out what their personal style is, and I feel like I call it like a collaboration. I don't really call it styling. I call it like a collaboration.
Oh, I like that.
So it's like we're collaborating on your style. 'Cause, some people be having pride sometimes, and they like, nah, no nigga styling me this and that. So I never call it like style. I call it like a collaboration. So I ask basically like, all right, what do you want yourself to look like? You feel me? And then I'm gonna show you what I feel like would look best on you, and then we can come together in the middle and figure out what looks best for you. You feel me? So I think I mainly do it like that, and I just
I feel like styling is really hard.
Yeah, styling is not
it's not easy
sometimes, and then you also I feel like a good stylist, you're supposed to make it seem as if your client can do it on their own or they did it on their own. You know, I
Yeah.
hate when
Oh
people put people in
wow.
stuff. It's just like somebody put you in that, and it
Yeah.
doesn't look like you can do that on your own.
Mhm.
So when I like
Mhm.
my main thing with my clients is like after a while, I want people to look like, oh, you know what? I can't tell if he was styled for this or not.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
it fits him. You feel me?
It's
And yeah,
authentic,
it's authentic.
real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it works for him. You never want to look like, all right, you just do a big ass costume
Mhm.
on your
Mhm. I've
client.
seen that happen a lot because I
Yeah.
also used to work with brands and people used to pull,
Mhm.
and they used to just pull anything, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, me as like on the other side, like, are you sure that doesn't even look like it'll look good on that person?
Exactly, exactly. So you
Yeah.
just have to understand, like, I would say like body proportions
Mhm.
or just like personal style or what fits the
Yeah.
your client and
Yeah.
what makes it make sense. So that's my main thing. I try to make it look
Mhm.
authentic, and then eventually after a while, like one of the things that makes me like feel like, all right, you know what, you did your job, is when
Yeah.
your client dress themselves on their own
Okay.
and they kind of it look like it's like, yo, oh nah, you did a good
Yeah.
job. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because that means you're learning from
Mhm.
what I'm showing you, and
I also
you're
feel like
able to
they're
do it.
learning their own style as you
Exactly,
style them.
exactly. So it's just
Mhm.
like after you see them dress themselves on their own,
Yeah.
and it almost looks like something that you did. It's just
Yeah.
like, okay, now you understood where we were trying to go
Mhm.
with the vision, and now you can eventually on your day to day
Do
do
it on
that
your
yourself.
own.
Yeah,
Right.
as long as
Okay.
I feel like I was able to teach you something about your personal
Yeah.
style.
But also, just like you gave so many people their flowers earlier, definitely want to give that to you too, because you worked on so many like amazing projects. We've seen you style so many amazing
I
people, like
appreciate that.
Party, Cranium, which
Hmm.
I love Cranium
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, that's my man.
You know, the Take Heath. I thought
Yeah.
even the High Snobiety cover, like, let's get into that. That was fire. I think like it looked perfectly
Thank
executed.
you. I appreciate
Like
that.
it looked great. So like how was that for you? Like how did that feel as well? Like, oh, I'm gonna be able to do a cover now, and like how
Yeah.
was that experience for you?
I was excited for that. That was my
Mhm.
my first cover, obviously,
Mhm.
and Highs Nobody. I'm big on that. Shout out Sebastian and Talia from Highs Nobody, my peoples.
Yeah.
They made that opportunity happen for me. Sorry, but yeah, it was just like it was a great experience, and I just
Yeah.
like to even be like I always tell people that I'm grateful for the opportunity because
Yeah.
you could have went in a totally another
Right.
direction.
Right.
There's 500 other people that you could have chose, but you chose me for the job.
Mhm.
So that's why
Mhm.
I always take like that into consideration, and then I
Mhm.
always just want to make sure like if it's my first, I want to make sure that I execute how
Right.
like just in case if it's my last, I just
Yeah.
want to make sure that I give
Go
that
out with
first.
a
Yeah, I
bang.
go out with a bang. I
Yeah.
get that first impression. Like, all
Mhm.
right, this is it.
Yeah.
But there was a whole bunch of stuff that happened during that shoot, inside stuff. But there was supposed to be more looks,
Mhm.
but that was like kind of one of the more New York looks. I felt like we
Yeah.
was in New York. Tay Keith, I think my man's Tay Keith from Memphis.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just wanted to give him a little New York
Yeah.
spin on his joint, and he was rocking with it too. So it was just
Mhm.
like it made sense. You know what I mean? It just
Yeah.
made sense. It was in New York. Wanted to give him New York. Ava Rex,
Mhm.
Who Decides War.
Yeah, I
Very New
saw that.
York. You feel
Yeah,
me? Yeah,
very,
very New
yeah.
York. And the Timbs, of course, like,
Yeah.
and then he was
It was
really.
executed so well, and when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, this is a like this is a cover.
Yeah,
Like it
yeah,
looked
yeah,
great.
yeah.
It
I
was dope.
appreciate
I
that.
definitely feel like a lot of the styling that you do and everything is definitely taking you places. Is gonna continue to take you places as well. So that brings me into like, how are you able to remain like humble? Like I know you said that you felt very like grateful for every opportunity. I
Mhm.
feel like sometimes people like get very airhead
Yeah,
about it.
yeah,
Like, oh,
yeah.
I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and then obviously you're always going to put yourself on a pedestal, but
Mhm.
like they don't remain
Yeah,
humble
yeah.
and like grateful. So how do you feel like, how do you do that? How do you remain humble and continue to remain grateful for every opportunity you're given?
I remain humble and grateful for every opportunity because I just always felt like I wasn't supposed to be here.
Mhm.
You feel me? I don't think that this was in my plan or anything like that.
Mhm.
So when I was given this opportunity, I'm always grateful, and it's just about how I was raised as well. Like,
Yeah.
I'm always grateful for opportunities, well mannered. That's how I was raised. So I just felt like you always gotta stay humble because, like I said before, people don't have to choose you or people don't
Right.
have to show love, and that's one of my things. Like, a lot of people show me love. You feel
Mhm.
me? And I always tell them like, yo, I appreciate like even people that come up to say, yo,
Yeah.
bro, I rock with what you doing. I
Mhm.
like your outfit or
Mhm.
just any things like that. Like I always tell people like, yo, I appreciate you because you didn't have to do that. You could have kept
Yeah.
walking. So
Mhm.
for you to gather up yourself to walk across the street and come over
Mhm.
to say something to me, bro, I always tell people like, yo, I'm grateful for that. Like I
Yeah.
appreciate you for that.
Mhm.
And I always got to stay on because a big thing I say is like I have more goals, right? And I always just say to myself like I'm nowhere yet. You feel me? I'm still
Yeah.
building myself up, taking steps. So how I'm not gonna be humble. I
Yeah.
don't think I really accomplished what I need to accomplish.
Mhm.
I'm not at the top of the top, or I'm not where like I'm taking them steps, but I'm not where
Right.
I'm at. So I gotta be humble. And I always tell people like, bro, we can have a conversation. You could come talk to me at any time. I'm always gonna talk to people. Always have conversations. Always respond back to people. This and that. Cause we I feel like we at the same
Yeah.
place. Who am I to not be humble? Like who
Correct.
am I to be
Yeah.
arrogant or anything like that? Come on,
Yeah,
I
and
ain't really
that's
do
I
nothing
think one
yet.
of the most things is very impersonal. Like even from the first time we met, it
Hmm.
was very like, yeah, like let's talk, let's get it situated. You know, it
Yeah.
wasn't more of like a who are you? And I think a lot of people in our industry, like the fashion industry,
Hmm.
sometimes get to that place where it's like you're not approachable now. Like
Yeah.
you're not someone who I can come up to. So definitely remain that way because
Yeah. Of
that
course.
just makes it more of like you're building a community of people
Yeah.
who like can come to you, who support you, who
Hmm.
like the work and who keep up with your work as
Yep.
well,
Yep.
which I think is like number one
Hmm.
because you don't only do styling, you
Hmm.
know, you do a lot of other things
Yeah.
as well as like creative consulting for brands.
Hmm.
A lot of people might not really know what that is or
Hmm.
like what that looks like. So if
Yeah.
you could like tell people like what is creative consulting and how you go about it, like how would you describe that?
Creative consultant. So I would say more so as in like, um, let's say a brand approaches you like,
Mhm.
hey, bro, I know that you like you connected with such and such,
Mhm.
or you're in these type of spaces. You
Mhm.
put this outfit on. You got a
Mhm.
little influence. A little influence. People
Mhm.
want to buy this and that. So, I want you to do the same thing for my brand. So I call it more so as like creative consultant and PR. You
Yeah.
feel me? I call it like PR because
Mhm.
my thing is like,
Definitely is
yeah,
PR.
yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely a lot of PR,
Mhm.
and I've built so many connections,
Mhm.
and there's more to build as well. But I
Mhm.
built so many connections, and I have like a good tribe of people around me that support me, or that's going to like anything that I do, no matter what, is going to
Mhm.
support me. They're gonna wear if I ask them like, yo, bro, I need you to throw this on this and
Mhm.
that, just
Mhm.
for this brand, this and that, and
Mhm.
I think connections to publications as well, like as
Yeah.
far as like doing complex posts and things like that. I just people think
Which we also saw, so we're definitely
yeah,
gonna throw
yeah.
that in there because
Let's
that was
yeah, yeah, yeah.
crazy.
So I'm just saying, I just feel like my connections and my reach
Mhm.
is it's gonna get bigger, but I just feel
Yeah.
like I'm in so many lanes and I have so
Mhm.
many connections. Like if it's as far as fashion,
Mhm.
music industry,
Mhm.
sports,
Yeah.
things like that. Like every single thing
Mhm.
influences from like all over. Like I just feel
Yeah.
like I'm connected with so many people that brands feel like if we give something to you, then it would also reach all them other
Yeah.
people. And then I mean, creative consultant come as well as like posters on social media or
Mhm.
content as well. Like
Mhm.
anything creative doing shoots,
Mhm.
creative direction. I just feel
Right.
like creative consulting with brands is just like I'm gonna do anything
Mhm.
creative, and if multiple brands want to indulge in what I do,
Right.
or you want your stuff on this athlete, your
Mhm.
stuff on this rapper or
Mhm.
this influencer that's gonna generate sales for you. I just feel like what's the best way to say it? Like I would say like a bridge. I'm
Yeah.
like a
You're the
bridge.
bridging
Yeah,
gap
I'm the
between
bridge.
the brand and
Yeah,
the
yes,
audience.
there we go. The bridging gap between the
That
brand and
PR work.
yeah, the PR work. You know how the
Yeah.
PR work go, man. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's basically what I feel like. And then I feel like this year I wasn't really taking it too serious, but a lot of brands started reaching out
Mhm.
and like, yo, bro, I see what you did for this brand.
Yeah.
I want you to do the same thing with my brand. And I was
Yeah.
just like, damn, I might as well just create a
At
little
it. Yeah.
PR agency within myself. You feel me? So
Yeah.
that's basically what I call
I
it.
think PR is also so much fun being a
Yes.
like fellow PR person. Like it's a lot of fun. You get to
Yeah.
work with so many different brands, get
Yep.
to experience a lot of different
Mhm.
cultures. One of the brands you're working with right now, I don't want to mispronounce it, but I know it's Modern Misery,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
How has that experience been for you as well? Like working with them and just doing everything. I also just seen recent like Alton Mason was in some of the
Yeah.
pieces. Like
Yeah.
how has that whole experience been creative consulting for them?
It's amazing. I got some Modern Misery on right
Yeah, I was
here.
just gonna say shout out to the
But
piece
yeah,
real
shout out
quick.
to my man Andy. He's just
Yeah, speeches are
yeah,
crazy.
I'm about to say
Wow.
creative genius, creative
Yeah.
genius. I met Andy probably like 3 years ago.
Mhm.
He was basically doing a brand by himself,
Mhm.
so I always been tapped in with Andy.
Mhm.
Like hand to hand, and
Mhm.
just the opportunity finally opened up that me and him could work
Yeah.
together on the brand. So
Yeah.
it's more like I wouldn't say I'm doing creative consultant for just Missouri. It's really me and Andy, like the
Yeah.
two
Yeah.
in this brand. Like other brands, it's just like it's other people, and then I'm creating consultant. But
Right.
this one is really like me and Andy. Like
Mhm.
we're a duo, and we make we make it work. His
Yeah, big
pieces is
shout out to y'all
yeah
because
yeah.
just look from the looks of it, like even just I was looking through like the photo shoots are
Mm-hmm.
insane. Just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it all looks so well executed and well
yeah,
put together.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it definitely is like one for the books. That's why Complex
Yeah,
made that post.
yeah. I appreciate that. And then
Yeah.
he makes it much easier for me because
Mhm.
you making hard ass pieces. You feel
Right.
me? So it's
Yeah.
just like I'm gonna want to be involved in that,
Mhm.
engaged in that, and then
Mhm.
every single day he comes with something crazy, and it's just like I got the opportunity, to
To
put
be a
it
part
on,
of it,
to
yeah,
be
and
a part of it,
everything.
put it
Yeah.
on, make sure I'm pushing it, and then it's also easier to market when
Mhm.
you got hard product. You feel me? And
Yeah.
I just feel like what he's doing as a up and coming brand, it was something that I haven't seen. Like if
Mhm.
you see like moto pieces and things like that, you
Yeah.
see that from couture brands,
Mhm.
Balenciaga,
Even Diesel too.
Diesel, things
Yeah.
like that. But for a upcoming brand, while people out
Mhm.
here making no hoodies, t-shirts and
Yeah.
stuff,
Screen print
and
stuff
yeah,
like
and
yeah.
your first thing you make in 2018 is a moto suit.
Yeah. That's insane.
I'm just like
You have
yeah, I'm like
to.
yo, what do you got what do you got
Yeah.
going on? Like
Mhm.
this it's
Mhm.
crazy. And then when I first met him, like his first piece that he made, like you said, like when people was doing, cut and sew and
Yeah.
things like that, the first piece he made was like it was like leather overalls with pony hair on top of it.
Oh
Yeah, if I
wow.
could I'm gonna show y'all a picture later, but once I
Wow.
seen that at that time, it was just like
I think
he's
I've seen maybe
yeah,
you posted that on your
exactly.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, he's different.
Wow.
There's something
Mhm.
different with him, and he was just creating pieces on his own
Mhm.
with no marketing, no nothing, just because it was his craft and that's what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
He was just making pieces, and there was just no push or
Yeah.
no mark. But I'm like, nah, bro, people got to see what you're doing.
Mhm. That's where
Like,
you come
yeah,
and
and that's
play.
how I was just like, yeah,
Yeah.
people got to see this, bro. And
Mhm.
then it just, like I said, it also work hand in hand. It makes like
Yeah.
me look better.
Mhm.
It got me rocking his piece. It just it's crazy. But shout
That's
out Andy.
insane.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
Missouri,
big shout out because
yeah,
like
next
just
up.
the uniqueness of everything
Mm-hmm.
is so well executed, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, and like you don't really see it a lot.
Exact. Yep.
So are you like when you think about what brands you want to work with? Because you speak so highly
Mm-hmm.
of the whole brand, so it's
Mm-hmm.
like to me, my question is like, do you feel like you are very picky or like very selective about what brands you work with and what you want to put your name a part of or a name
Um,
on? I should say.
I wouldn't say I'm picky. I just feel like it has to fit me and it
Mhm.
has to make sense too, and it has to be authentic. You feel me?
Right.
Like I don't want it to look like, oh, he's just doing that because they probably paying him something.
Okay.
You feel me? Like I
Yeah.
just wanted to do like everything that I wear right now is just like it fits with my personal style.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
Mazera, of course, like I said, boom, it's cool. Christopher Kites.
Mhm.
So I mean, it goes with my personal style. My man Monty make the star chains. Like
Mhm.
it all goes.
Mhm.
It with stolen arts on the belt. That's why I
Mhm.
got to get with them too. Like it just all makes sense,
Yeah.
and it fits like what I do on a
Mhm.
day to day, and it fits me. So I feel like I would only. I mean, I'm not gonna say like I'm only gonna take on brand. I'm gonna support all brands. Anybody
Right.
that reach out to me, and
You gonna find a way to.
I'm gonna find a way to support you. Or if I don't feel like it fits for me,
Mhm.
I know 100 people, and I know how to pick
Yeah.
who it works for.
Yeah.
And I do things like that. Like I
That's that PR work.
exactly. Yeah, like you know who it works for or
Yeah.
who lane it is, and I'm just like, all right, if it don't work for me,
Mhm.
I got somebody even better
Right.
that'll make it shake for you. You
Right,
feel me?
right.
So I feel like I just feel like it just has to go with my day to day or my personal in it. If it
Yeah.
makes sense, it definitely makes sense. But I'm gonna support everybody regardless.
Yeah.
Anybody that because everybody, I feel like everybody supports me,
Mhm.
so I'm always gonna support everybody.
That's I think it's hard. A lot of people also feel like it's hard for them to like make their way in the industry and
Mhm.
kind of like start off or kind of like in that space. So taking it all the way back, did you see yourself being where you at right now? Did you have different plans? Like, what was your original plan, and how'd you end up here?
Yeah, and
Really,
that's
like.
crazy. I just spoke about it on this other interview too. But
Mhm.
I went to college for 4 years
Mhm.
for sports media.
Mhm.
Nothing to do with fashion. Sports media. I just wanted to talk about basketball. This is when people in their college days
Right.
thinking they going
Yeah.
hoop and shit, go to the
Mhm.
league, little shit like that. And nah, once you face reality, it's just like, yo, you ain't gonna make it there. So I was just like, all right, you know what? I just wanted to talk about sports.
Mhm.
So that's what I went to college for, and I graduated from college for with a sports management,
Okay.
communication media, sports media, whatever, all in that same
You can
check.
also find ways to use like that into your PR work, like
Yeah,
the media work and the
exactly.
talking and
So
everything.
when I was coming out, that's what I thought I was
Mhm.
doing. So when I got out of college,
Mhm.
I didn't have no internships, no jobs, no
Mhm.
lined up in the sports field. So it
Right.
was just like, all right, time to kill that. You feel me?
Mhm.
But I was still getting dressed, getting into
Mhm.
fashion, doing things.
Staying
Yeah,
fly.
yeah, staying fly. Just some day to day, day to
Mhm.
day shit. Just getting fly. Just taking pictures or whatever. My man Eric from back home, E Dot. He's the one that got me into like.
Yeah, he be
Yeah,
shooting. Yeah.
yeah. So he's the one that introduced me to fashion. Like,
Mhm.
yo, this is what's going
Mhm.
on. Blase blah.
Mhm.
This is the styles and things like that. He was one of really the ones that was starting, but it was looking. It wasn't like it wasn't familiar to people,
Okay.
the stuff that he was doing.
Mhm.
So it was just like he was just
Which is
trying.
a good thing.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So he was kind of ahead.
Ahead of his
So he was
time.
just
Yeah.
looking like, yo, this is what people was doing, this
Mhm.
and that. You got a little, you got a little following. People rock with you, so I
Mhm.
think you should start taking it more serious.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, all right, whatever. Just not doing it. Just taking pictures, throwing it
Yeah.
on the gram. Taking pictures,
Mhm.
throwing it on the gram. And then, like I said, I did a PR internship
Mhm.
at Philip Lim.
Yeah.
So I did a PR internship at Philip Lim for 3 years, and I feel like that was my real introduction to fashion
Mhm.
and PR.
Mhm.
So it's just like being in that internship, I learned so much. It opened
Yeah.
up so many doors for me.
Mhm.
I met so many people, and
Mhm.
I just felt like once I got into that, it was just like, all right, you know what? This is what you want to do. I'm looking
Yeah.
like, yo, people getting paid for fashion
Mhm.
PR, just sending out samples, getting
Mhm.
it back,
Mhm.
dropping off to such and such,
Little
dropping off,
gifts,
yeah,
little
little gift,
this.
dropping.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, this could be my job. I could get paid off for this. You know what?
Mhm.
That's what I want to put my mind into. So
Mhm.
I actually end up overstaying my internship
Yeah.
because it
3 years. That was
yeah,
like damn.
yeah, yo, it was so beneficial to me that
Yeah.
I had to stay. It
Mhm.
was like everybody, all the people in there, they was kids.
Yeah.
I mean, they was younger than me.
Mhm.
They was in college. This was like they for their semester.
Yeah.
They
Like
was
they
yeah,
co-op,
they was
ready
doing a
to.
little 3 months,
Yeah.
four
Yeah.
months.
Mhm. Nah,
Everybody
I'm
was
here
just
3 years.
everybody was just leaving, and I'm in the joint like, nah, I'm
Mhm.
staying here. And they just kept asking me, yo, when your internship done, whenever you want to
Mhm.
be done, I'm just like, nah,
Nah.
I'm seeing what I'm getting all in 3
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
I'm here. Whatever y'all need, I'm here because I'm not doing nothing right now.
Yeah.
All I'm doing is just working. You
Mhm.
feel me? So I need to find myself.
Yeah.
And then I just seen like the benefits of it. I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna stay here, and it just opened up
Mhm.
so many doors for me. You feel me? Shout out Terry, Carolyn, Bianca. Those was my my
Yeah.
mentors at Philip Lim, and
Mhm.
I'm still yeah. Terry is like
Yeah.
he opened up so many doors for me, get me in tune with a lot of things. So I want to shout out Terry for real.
I think it's great too that you really stuck it through and felt like and figured out what you wanted to gain from the experience.
Mhm.
Me, I've done so countless internships before. I've never stayed that long. And I think it's just a mentality
Yeah,
thing. It's just like
yeah.
about your mindset. Like, did I really get everything I needed to get from this experience? And a lot of the times in my head it's like, yeah, I want to move on to something else. I want to move on to something else because
Yeah.
it never felt right.
Yeah.
But I felt like if for me something felt right, that
Mhm.
like, oh, I'm gaining so much from here. I want to stay
Exactly.
here long term.
Exactly.
I probably would have.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people in the internship world also just like do 3 to 6 months and then they just like move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
After your internship, what was the next step that you're like, okay, I've been here, I've gained, I learned. What was your next step after that? Or what did you see for yourself next?
So after the internship, after I gained, all the insight that I needed, made the connections that I had to make, it was just like, all right, let's just post these fits on the gram and see where it goes. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like it was like let me just. Mom was just started buying clothes, spending money on clothes, posting pictures on the gram or whatever, and then I remember when I really realized that this was a different life for me is when I got my first paid shoot.
Yeah.
It was from Puma. Like as my first joint.
That's crazy.
Yeah, out the gate.
Wow.
It was a paid like as an influencer. I don't really
Yeah.
call myself an influencer, but it was just like as an influencer, that was my first paid post. And it was from Puma, and I was just like I seen what I made off that one shoot. Then what I was making, I was working at Zara at the time.
Yeah. I think I seen that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I was working
yeah.
at Zara. So I seen that, and I was just like,
It's time to go.
yeah. I'm like, yo, yeah, it's time to go. I could take this. I could take this serious now. So it was just like I went off that one shoot, and I was just like, all right, I'm gonna quit my job, and then I'm gonna just figure out. Now I gotta hustle for the next shoot.
Yeah.
If I just had that one and done, and I quit my job, like it was just like that money not gonna last. So it was just like, all right, now I'm gonna just start taking this serious.
Right.
Started posting more. Engagement was going up. More brands started hitting me up, things like that. And once I hit that stride, I was just locked in.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yo, every day I gotta figure out how I'm gonna eat for the next month, or how I'm gonna make sure that I get this bread because I don't got no job. You feel me? So it's just like it wasn't that consistent money. It was just like, all right, you got to figure out how you're going to make consistent money and make a living for yourself. And then opportunities just kept coming.
Aligning.
Coming. I'm just like, all right, you know what? I got to follow this formula until I get to where I was at. And then that's what made it just like, you know what? All right, I guess this is what they calling me for. And this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah. I think that's great too, because a lot of people in the field don't understand their presence on social media as well. It's such a benefit. I know a lot of, when I was working for different companies and I was working in the PR field, there were people who were older than me, like, you know, much older, like in their 40s, 50s. And they were like, the PR world has changed. Like there was no social media at my time. It was all like mail, email, PR packages. Now you can literally scout on Instagram and kind of just like build relationships through the use of social media. So I definitely feel like we're at a benefit this time and point where it's much easier to connect, reach, and like acknowledge our fellow like influencers and creators. Like your Instagram is your like digital platform and your digital resume. And how have you obtained that where you're like, okay, I want to remain consistent with like my personal style, but I also want to build this like brand image on social media. So how have you maintained that throughout the years?
I just really pay attention to like what's going on, and I feel like I have like a good idea of like what's gonna be hot or what's gonna be timeless or what's gonna last, or when trends are sort of moving. When it's I don't say like like I say I keep up with like trends, but I don't do things for the trend. If that makes sense, it's just like, all right, yo, this is a trend for right now. Let me go in and just do this, and it doesn't look authentic to me. So I figure out how to like always be kind of ahead of the trend, or mix my style in with the trend that's going on. So it's always organic, or it's always real, or it's not like, all right, he just put on the costume, or he just doing he's following what's going on now. It's just like, I feel like, I just have an idea of like how to keep up with that type of stuff. And then, like I said, once I hit a stride and I see things, you know, going up the way it's supposed to go, I just keep following that.
Yeah, you following that cadence.
Yeah, and it just keeps me, like, you know, on point and then motivated. It's just like, all right, you seen what happened when you did this, this, and this. So you might as well keep doing this, this, and this, so results can keep coming and things could keep opening up. So like once I seen a bunch of opportunities open up, it's just like, all right, I have to keep going because I got to get to a point where I need to be like, there's nothing else I should be doing right now, but getting to where I need
going
to get
full time with this.
Going full time.
I know you said also like you're not where you want to be. I feel like we're all in this life, and every part of our life is like a chapter. And like I feel like majority of us are like chapter 1, chapter 2, because we're so far from where we want to be, because there's such this big picture we envision for ourselves, which I think is fantastic. But along with going through that journey and going through these chapters, I know there's a lot of rejection that comes with that. I know there's a lot of no's and closed doors. How have you also like continue to follow through with your vision and goals that you have for yourself with not saying you've been rejected or anything like that, but with experiencing like the no's and the closed doors. How have you,
So my thing is, if I ever face, well, I probably have faced some rejections in some way and things like that. I just feel like I always say to myself that, like, that's cool right now, but you're gonna know who I am in a little bit, or I just feel like you're going to run into me at some point in life, because at the rate that I'm going in the rooms that I'm in, you're bound to see me, or you're bound to run into me. So that's why I always just look at it as like, oh yeah, you rejected me? That's cool. I'm gonna really show you like who I am.
It's like your motivation.
Yeah, it's like motivation. Yeah. It's like I'm gonna really show you who I am, and then when you see me, you're gonna be like, oh,
damn, I shouldn't have.
You was such and such.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you you was gonna see me. So that's why I never take rejection as like, damn, it's over. Like I'm done now. I always use it as motivation. Like, oh, don't worry about it. They gonna see me, or they gonna want to tap in with me. Sooner or later at the rate that I'm going, because you're either gonna know somebody I know, or
you gonna see me.
It's that you're gonna see me, and then you're gonna wonder like, all right, what does he do? And that happened in a lot of cases. Like,
really,
yeah, that happened in a lot of cases. So that's why I was just always like, nah, I'm gonna catch up with that person later, or I'll catch up with that brand later, because
it's a full circle moment.
I'm just like, I'm gonna get there. They gonna see me, and they gonna know who I am, because regardless, I have a lot of hands and a lot of stuff, or I know a lot of people in places that have, hands and things, or you're gonna see me with such and such, or like I know I'm gonna be seen, so I just always just use that as motivation. Like I'm good. Don't worry about it. It's gonna come around.
I think also that's a good attitude to have, because I know a lot of people don't want to burden relationships and don't want to like quote unquote ruin relationships within the industry. So they always want to keep it like cool and collected. I know some people who like hold grudges too, like, nah, you rejected me, or you gave me a no, like that's it, never again. So I think it's a good thing that you remain that way, because that's, I feel like, only gonna further develop your future relationships, and it keeps that professionalism going. Aside from professionalism too, I feel like we also gain a lot of friendships through these like work relationships. How have you also maintain that professionalism and like friendship wise within the industry? Because I know for me it's kind of hard too. Like I've been in jobs and I've made like really good friends, and it's like, damn, like I can't be like best friends with you because we got to keep this professionalism. How do you find that balance? Because even as a stylist, like I'm working so much with people, like essentially you kind of become like friends. Because you get to know them so well.
Exactly. I just, people relate to real people, you feel me? Like real people relate to real people. So I just feel like as long as I'm always myself and authentic, or things like that, like people always gonna relate to me, or they gonna attract to me, things like that. Like you can't be out here just being fake, or giving out bad energy. So that's why I always like give out good energy to people, and I've been doing good so far. I haven't really got no bad energy back, or nothing.
Which
like
is
that.
A good thing. Let's keep that.
Exactly. So I just feel like as long as you show love to people, or you give out good energy, they should show it back, or things like that. But I just feel like I'm always real. Like I'm always gonna be real regardless. So
I like that, because I've also seen a lot of, I'ma just do it because it's trending, or I'ma just hop in these rooms because I see X and X in this room. Which I think is like beneficial to a certain extent, because obviously you're staying on top of things, but I wouldn't just pertain to be in rooms or just hop on things just because it's like where people feel like I need to be. It always has to be authentic and real, and that's what people are going to look at the end of the day. I feel like people could see through people who are faking it or not really being authentic, which I think is like great that you do. And I think like big round of applause to you to continue to do that, because we can also see it just through your Instagram, like like we were talking about a little beforehand, like we don't see the get ready with me videos, like it's very like you're not following the same cadence that so many other people are doing, but you're still showing your true and authentic style in other ways, through your creative consulting, through your styling, through yourself, while also keeping it authentic to the brand and the person. But we see that within your work. Like you're definitely not limiting yourself in these case scenarios. So just taking it back a little bit, when you started styling and when you felt like you wanted to take that route, what did it feel like for you getting your first booking and working with your first client? I know it's probably like a long time ago. You're so far ahead now, but
It
like,
was
how did that
What was
feel?
my first year I was styling was it might be time is just flying.
Time is going
Um,
fast.
2018, 2019.
Mm.
When I first got my first client, Frank Ntilikina from the Knicks.
Hmm.
That was just like shocking
Yeah.
because I didn't come into this to be a stylist. So I never, but I
Mhm.
never tell myself I can't do nothing. So
Right.
when somebody asked me like, "Yo, you want to be a stylist?" That wasn't my first thing. I never thought I was
Mhm.
gonna be a
Mhm.
stylist. It's just something that happened from getting dressed.
Right.
You feel me? So it was just one of them first things, and then
Like from your own personal
yeah,
style, then
from
right. Yeah,
my
yeah.
own personal style.
Mhm.
Then just like, all right, I'm going out here. I'm gonna style this
Yeah.
person, build a portfolio, do it like the
Mhm.
what it's like the traditional way. I
Mhm.
would say nah. It was just like off of my personal style. When I booked that first thing, it was just like, oh wow, I
Mhm.
have an opportunity. And I always tell Frank that I'm grateful for him giving me my first opportunity because I felt like he just gave me a platform to
Mhm.
broadcast what I do.
And it takes that one person
Exactly.
to just open so many doors for you.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
he gave me my opportunity. So I felt like once I got to that, I was just like, you know what? Like I
Mhm.
say about to say, if it's my one chance and my
Mhm.
one chance only, I'm
Mhm.
gonna make sure that I show out.
Yeah.
So using my my resources from PR
Mhm.
as usual, I was doing like polls and things like that,
Mhm.
bringing them a whole bunch of options from showrooms and things,
Mhm.
and just like I'm just like, you know what? This is my first opportunity. I'm gonna make sure that I go hard
Yeah.
for the whole time, but of course make it real to
Yeah.
what he does. You feel
Yeah.
me? And it just like took off after.
From there
Yeah,
it took
yeah,
off. Yeah.
it took off. It was just like it was
Yeah,
crazy, and I was just, it was crazy. It was honestly it was a crazy feeling. And then that's when I realized I was like, all right, you know what? I can do this on the side.
Mhm.
Like I can really do this on the side. You feel me? And I was just like, and that's fun. You feel
Yeah,
me? That's
because
fun.
like I said, you don't limit yourself. You have so many different brackets and so
Yeah,
many different
exactly. Yeah,
categories
yeah,
that, which is a good thing.
yeah.
Because I know some people like have a vision and only want to stick with that. When
Hmm.
there's so many subcategories that you can do to fuel your creativeness and
Hmm.
to continue to keep you going. That's what I like about just the fashion industry as a whole. Like you can do PR and then you can do business management and then you
Hmm.
can do
Hmm.
so many different things to continue to fuel your creativeness and kind of strengthen your own personal portfolio,
Hmm.
which is really good. So aside from like all the stuff you've accomplished, what are some of the things that you want to tackle into next that you're not currently doing right now?
Um.
Like I said, it's very limitless. There's so many things
Yeah,
that can be
yeah.
done.
I think I want to get it. I want to call it. I want to start modeling for brands more. I would say that,
Mm.
and then I want to do like, I want to walk a runway as well.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think
That's
as far as
fire.
that, yeah, I want to do that. I think that's one of the things I want to do. What else? Uh, I could say I want to style like a TV series or something
Mm.
like that.
Mhm.
You know, like a
Mhm.
show or something like that.
Yeah.
Be like a wardrobe stylist for that and things like that.
That's
So
dope.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's one of the things that
And a big
um
production too. That's
yeah, I'm about to say
big.
yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah. So I would see myself doing one of those,
Mhm.
and then just also just building myself more as a
Mhm.
brand and like a brand of myself, and just building myself more and just get into these certain type of places, these certain type of rooms and things
Yeah.
like that. So I just feel like that's one of the main things I just want to do
Yeah.
more.
Definitely achievable. And we
Yes, I
all know you're
appreciate.
gonna make it there. Like it's
I
not a
appreciate
doubt.
that. Yeah.
Do you also ever want to have like your own brand?
Yo, a lot of people say that to me, but what I see is, I feel like it's a lot.
It is a lot.
Yeah, I feel like it would be too much. I feel like I'm gonna say between like the end of last year
Mhm.
and this year is
Mhm.
probably like the first time I was overwhelmed with work. You feel me? Like I
Mhm.
don't feel like I never felt like that, but it was just like I remember one day it was just like, damn, I got mad shit to do. Yo, I got
Yeah.
bad shit to do, and I was just like trying to do a brand by myself. It's just like I see
It's a
what,
lot.
yeah, like working with brands. I see what
I was just gonna say that.
I see what they have to do,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, I'm good with what my
Mhm.
role is because I would be stressed the hell out to do that, you know.
And you need a team.
And you definitely need a team.
I tell that
Definitely need a
to
team.
everybody. Like I
Yeah,
do PR as well, and
yeah,
like I work with a couple brands and they're like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's like that. You need a
Exactly.
team of
Like to
people.
design and then to market and then to talk to the factories to get
Hmm.
this sample done, to get that sample done.
And even
It's just yeah,
sales
it's
and
just sell
like,
exactly price points, profit
hmm
margin thing. And
hmm
I'm just looking like, nah,
yeah, it's a
yo,
lot.
I applaud y'all.
Hmm.
Y'all got that.
Yeah.
Give me the clothes, I'll put it on. I know what's hot right now. I
Yeah.
know what's gonna be hot 2 years later. I know
Hmm.
what everybody's rocking with right now.
hmm
So I can give you that insight. And
Yeah.
I know what what the
hmm
streets is when I'm in tune with everybody.
Yeah.
So I know
Yeah.
what's going up or what people is looking for, what pieces.
Yeah.
So that's my job. I do that part. As far as I could probably design, I could tell you what I like to wear, you feel me? But
Yeah.
to think of designs that
Put on a whole
yeah, put
collection,
out a whole collection
a whole
or trying to make
drop.
try to differentiate from what other people is dropping so they don't say you're dropping the same stuff as
Right.
somebody, trying to think of what's next and things like that.
Hmm.
I applaud you for that. Y'all got that.
Yeah. I feel, if you did ever consider, you got mad supporters, so
Yeah.
much people who would be
Everybody tell me that
want
all the
to.
time.
I'm
They
sure you
just
get
like,
asked that a lot.
I
Yeah.
do. I just told them I just like probably down the road, but I see the stress of it
Mhm.
with people that I work with or people that I'm around. It's just like, yeah, I don't want to add
Mhm.
that extra joint. Like,
Yeah, it is a lot of work. I used to have a clothing brand
mm-hmm,
back like during my college days,
mm-hmm,
and then when it like picked up,
mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, never
Yeah,
mind.
that's what I'm saying. That
Never mind, because
it
it is a lot of
yeah,
work. And
it
then
looked tough.
I didn't know at the time while I was in college that you can get people to do like PR and
Mm-hmm,
this
mm-hmm.
and that. Obviously invest in your business, but
Yeah,
like I wasn't too familiar with that.
yeah,
And then once I realized the workload of it, I was like, damn, I'd rather help brands
mm-hmm,
in certain
mm-hmm.
aspects, like the marketing and the PR of things, rather than fully running a
Yep,
whole corporation.
yep.
So I agree with that for sure. Now, not changing the topic,
Mm-hmm,
but this is a fashion podcast. This is like fashion world. We're here to support.
mm-hmm,
I definitely like to get into the outfits and
mm-hmm,
what you're wearing.
mm-hmm.
So I know you kind of walked us through a little pieces and shouted out on
Yeah,
your own, which was
yeah.
great. But walk us through your fit. Like, what made you pick this fit today? What made you be like, I'm coming to Talks with Kat. I want to put that shit on. Like, walk us through the fit. What made you pick what you're wearing today?
So
No pressure. No pressure.
I had to I had to represent Missouri no matter what. You feel me? It's our new barn where we drop, so I had to throw this on real quick. I just went black thermal under Entire Studios.
I love Entire Studios.
Yeah, Entire Studios.
Fire.
They wanted to.
Yeah.
They the number one brand right now for me.
Yeah.
Entire Studios. The Balenci Lost. What's this called? Lost tape jeans. I just felt like the black on the gray charcoal, burnt leather. It all just. It all just went together. And then Tim's on the feet.
Calm.
Yeah, just normal New York shit. Oh, my man Dame on the hat. Excuse me, no more slums. My man from Uptown.
Nice.
I just felt like the gray and the hat. It just all it's neutral. It all came in with the same colors, and I just this was calm.
Yeah.
I usually do more colors and shit like that, but
Yeah.
I just felt like
Very versatile. I was looking through your gram. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
like these are all really good versatile pieces.
Yeah, I do more colors, but today I just wanted to represent.
What's an
Missouri.
everyday piece that you're like, I can throw this on every day? I know you said Entire is like number one for you right now, but what's something that you're like, I can throw this on every other day? It's calm. It's me.
As far as tops or bottoms?
Let's go tops, bottoms.
Tops,
Yeah.
Bottoms. Bottoms. I like a good pair of cargos, like baggy black cargos.
Mm-hmm.
I just got a good pair from Vetmont. I've been looking for a baggy black cargo for the longest, so I got a pair from there. I could just throw those on anytime. You feel me? And just know I'm good. It's a versatile piece.
Mm-hmm.
As far as tops, Entire Studios, anything Entire Studios, I got about 10 bombers from them.
Damn.
Yeah, but I say shout out to Seb and Dylan, those my peoples, real good people. So I could throw on any Entire Studio top. It's always gonna stand out.
I'm trying to envision the fit as you're going.
Oh, that's good. I could do that, and then I just feel like accessories just really set off outfits too.
I say that.
Yeah,
and
that's
on my
real.
last episode, we had Sully
Yeah.
on, and he said the same thing. Like accessories
Yeah,
really tie
yeah,
in a fit.
yeah.
Something neutral, calm, and then you throw on like some
Yeah,
jewelry,
exactly.
can take it up a
It make
notch.
it make it give a little pop. You feel me?
Mhm.
So, I just throw on a little accessories here and there. I just started getting more into. I need to start getting into rings too. But I just want to make sure I
Yeah.
got like the right rings. Oh, bracelets too. I got to start getting bracelets. I
Yeah.
ain't never been a bracelet type of dude, but I be seeing people just throw on bracelet, and
Yeah.
it be making shit a little pop a little bit too. So
Mhm.
I need to start getting into that.
It can
But
definitely take your
yeah,
fit from like a 5
yeah,
to a 10. It could
exactly.
really
Yeah, that's what
elevate
I'm
it.
saying. So I got to start getting into that. But yeah, that's just calm shit. Any cargos.
Mhm.
Rick cargos. The cargos that
Yeah.
they dropped last year was probably one of their best silhouettes.
Their runway shows are
Yeah, I
also
about to say that. Yeah, the
insane.
Rick cargos. It's like an everyday joint too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, cargo pants in general,
That's a
you
good
be
fit.
solid. Yeah,
That's a good
you be
fit.
solid.
All right, I love that.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to wrap it up in a few, but before we do that, we definitely always like to talk about what advice you would give to
Mhm.
people who want to follow the same journey or follow one of your journeys, because as we know,
Mhm.
he do it all. He do it all. So what's that some advice you would give to upcoming, stylists and creative consultants, or even just people who
Mhm.
want to have a social media presence?
Yeah.
What's some advice you would give?
Some advice I would give is like I said, brand yourself. Like
Mhm.
you're branding yourself. As long as you
Mhm.
build yourself,
Mhm.
then I feel like you're able to do anything because people gonna want to do what you do.
Mhm.
You feel me? So that's why I always just make sure like I'm always building myself first
Mhm.
before anything else. Like, okay, I got the brand Mizier and
Mhm.
things like that. That's its own thing, but just me as, like you said, as a stylist or as a
Yeah.
creative or as an influencer or whatever the category that you throw me in. Like, as long as you have to keep that up, you can't just
Yeah.
be the person behind the brand and then that's it. Because if all that shit go, who are you gonna be in real life? You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's why I just always make sure that I make sure like I brand myself. So always brand yourself. Content is important.
It is.
Consistency is definitely important too. Um, you gotta be consistent. You gotta be everywhere. You gotta post. You got people have to see you. You have to engage
Mhm.
with people.
Mhm.
And also what you call it, personal relationships. I think that's very important. Personal relationships is very important. Don't burn bridges. Always be personable.
Mhm.
Always be open.
Mhm.
Support. Show love to who. Show love to you. Show love to everybody if you want to. Um, and then I just think that's like one of the most important things. So
I know this is definitely going to inspire some people to also just follow through and be
yeah,
like, you know what? I'm just going to do it and take
yeah,
everything you said into consideration into their journey,
yeah.
which I think is great. And aside from the people who, want to do these things, what advice and what would you say to your current peers right now in the industry with you, working alongside you? What's a message you can give to them as well?
Um, shit. Keep doing what y'all doing. Keep doing what y'all doing. The youth is pushing the
Mhm.
fashion industry right now. All my homies that's doing TikToks every day,
Mhm.
posting reels every day,
Mhm.
content every day. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Like they the ones that's changing the game,
They
and
are
they keeping
literally
they keeping shit relevant. I wish I was able to hop on TikTok every day and
right
do all that
at the
shit. I
time.
would yeah, I wish I had the time to do all that stuff, but that's why I always tap in with my younger brothers that's out
Mhm.
here doing that shit, and people see them and
Yeah.
they everywhere. And I always tap in with everybody that I see everywhere as well too. Like
Yeah.
I always show love to if I seen you come across my joint and I know that you like I got a good eye of
Mhm.
who's engaging and
Yeah.
who's the most consistent and who's coming up and things like that. And I always tap in with them because
Yeah.
it works out and they
It's
always
that
show.
PR work.
Yeah, as I'm
Everything you
telling you,
say
like,
always leads back
yo,
to
I'm
that
about to
PR
say, yeah, I
work.
think I learned something from that internship, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's all PR. Like I
Mhm.
always feel like I got an eye for like who's next up or who's doing well,
Mhm.
who's pushing well,
Mhm.
who's consistent, who's doing this, and then I always tap in with them and they show love and they
Yeah.
know who I am from this little bit of time of what I'm doing and
Mhm.
I'm always gonna show love, help wherever I gotta help,
Mhm.
and that's just one of the main things. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing.
I love that. I think one of the best things is that you're always thinking about a revolving door. Like I show
Yeah,
love, you show love, and keep that going.
yeah,
Because at the end of the day, I feel like all we got is each other, our supporters, and that's what's gonna take us from where we are now to where we can be. Obviously, with our hard work, our dedication, our consistency, like everything you said. I enjoyed this conversation like much more than I anticipated. Definitely was a little nervous for sure, but like this was great. I love everything you had to say, the advice you gave, the journey, the little insight that you gave us. Obviously, we don't want to put everything out there. We want to keep some things like private to ourselves, but everything you said was so authentic and real. And I know that me and everybody here and the people who are going to see this are going to appreciate that and are going to love the authenticity that you bring with that. We're gonna wrap this up. Is there anything that you want to say, anything you want to put out there, anything you want to promote, anything we should be expecting?
Yes,
like I said, he does it all.
I want to promote Mazir, of course, is next up. Everybody keep following. Everybody that's been supporting, I want to say thank you for all your support. Everybody that's been making it go up, everybody that's involved in this process as well, as far as influencers, models, photographers, everybody that's just making this move faster than what we expected. I really appreciate that. Stay tapped in. We got a lot of shit going on. We really about to take over this shit. Like we got a point to prove. So we gonna take over.
Heavy on that. We got a point to prove.
We got a point to prove. So everybody keep following Mazir, staying tapped in, keep supporting. I appreciate y'all. Thank you to everybody that's supporting me. Number one, my support system is amazing. Everybody. I appreciate all of y'all. Y'all keep me going. Shout out to Kat and this podcast. You feel me? Like, yeah, you a genuine one. I appreciate you for what you did for me at the Laquan Smith show. Like I said, so I'm always grateful and things like that. But yeah, shout out to this podcast. Keep doing what you're doing. Anybody else that need to come up here, please tap in with Kat.
Tap in quickly.
Yeah, come up here and tell y'all story as well. That's it. I think I might be Gucci.
I love that. Big round of applause, y'all.
You
heard it here. Do not sleep on Brooklyn Survival. Do not sleep. So many upcoming projects. So many things coming very, very soon. Stay tuned. Do not sleep.
And if you do, like I said,
you baited.
You're going to see me regardless.
You're going to see him.
You're going to run into me regardless. You're going to have to tap in with me sooner or later regardless. So it's all right. But I appreciate y'all though.
Yeah, of course. Don't sleep. That's a wrap.
Appreciate y'all.